All right, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Ceremony will begin shortly. Please, at this time, silence all electronic devices. All right, and please rise for the playing of the national anthem. Please be seated. Good afternoon. I'm Captain Brandon Eves, and I've had the pleasure of serving as the mentor for Class 21002, and I will be your MC for today's ceremony. I'd like to take this time to welcome our distinguished visitors, squadron leadership, and the family members of our friends of our graduating class. Commander 333rd Training Squadron, Lieutenant Colonel Jeremy Sparks. Our First Sergeant, 333rd Training Squadron, Master Sergeant Jessica White. Of course, a warm welcome to the family members and friends of our graduating class. We are here to celebrate the hard work and sacrifice of these graduating students and their families. Cyber warfare operators are needed more than ever before. In 2018, the commander, United States Cyber Command General Paul Nakasone, stated of the cyber landscape, a mature and highly capable cyber force is built and in the fight, aggressively defending our network, conducting daily operations against adversaries, and strengthening the combat power and lethality of U.S. forces around the world. We are at a defining time for our nation and our military. Near-peer competitors are posturing themselves, and threats to the United States' global advantage are growing. Nowhere is this challenge more manifest than in cyberspace. Today, these freshly minted cyber operators are charged with defending our nation against these ongoing threats by employing capabilities to directly meet presidential, Secretary of Defense, and combatant commander objectives around the world. To the new graduates, congratulations on your new challenge. Before recognizing each of our graduates, I would like to introduce today's guest speaker. Lieutenant Colonel Jeremy Sparks is the squadron commander, 333rd Training Squadron, Keesler Air Force Base, Mississippi, where he is responsible for the technical training activities for over 6,300 Air Force and Joint Service trainees annually through 4 initial skills training pipelines and a variety of supplemental training courses. Colonel Sparks,
well, let me be the first to tell you congratulations on a tremendous achievement. When you showed up here over 6 months ago, the course that was being offered then is a much different course than what is being offered now. Part of that is due to the feedback that you provided. I want to thank you for the inputs that you provided to make our course more challenging and to prepare our airmen for the challenges that they're going to face as they engage with what Captain Eve just described as our near-peer competitors. Part of graduation is a very interesting time for a commander. We know that as we pin your wings on and send you out to the field, what what you're about to walk into. It is a very interesting context, globally and nationally. You can see it in the news. One of the interesting parts about this is that those near-peer competitors, the strategic environment in which we operate, they're waiting on you. They're preparing hard. It's interesting. I saw a Wall Street Journal article and I posted it in one of in the instructor Slack channel. I don't know if I dropped it in the student Slack channel. But many of these other nations, our competitors, they're preparing the equivalent to you right now in their own schoolhouse. And they're preparing them like they prepare professional athletes. There are some of the defectors that have left those countries that come over and give us reports on how hard they're training. There's one in particular from North Korea who described his experience. He said it was not uncommon for him to wake up with his face in a bowl of soup, because that's how hard they were training. We know, those of us who are recently in the field, what you're walking into. We just came from there. You're going to get your reps in right away. Joe Nakasone describes it as persistent engagement. You'll hear it sometimes, defend forward. Other times they'll say we're in constant contact. Very true. All right, enemies, particularly what the Secretary of Defense and the Secretary of the Air Force, the Chief of Staff have focused us on is China and Russia at the moment. Those are our strategic competitors. They don't want to go to war with us. We have technical overmatch. And instead, it's okay, buddy. Yeah, you're part. That's part. He's telling me to get off the stage. I know. I can read between the lines. But part of this is they don't want to go to war with us because we have technical overmatch. We do. We would largely win in a kinetic engagement. If we were to go into armed conflict, we have the upper hand. And so because of that, they operate below the level of armed conflict. Below the level of armed conflict is non-kinetic operations. That's where you come in. Your counterpart just graduated from undergraduate pilot training today. They're going to go, they're going to burn holes in the sky, and thankfully, hopefully, never have to drop weapons in hate against China or Russia. We don't want to go to war. They'll be training most of their career for a fight, Lord willing, never happens. That is not true. What you are about to walk into. You're about to walk into an engagement zone where you will be getting in reps. And to prepare you for that, we have an incredible instructor corps to prepare you for what you're going to face out there. A couple of months ago, our squadron took on the adage from Thucydides, which is the most ancient historian that we have on warfare. And he penned these words thousands of years ago. He said, the strongest are those that are raised in the hardest of schools. And so if we endeavor to make you strong, we're not going to give away the wings in a vending machine. There's no participation trophies. You're going to earn them. And so you have it. You earned it. You put in your reps, and you're on this stage today because of that. And so as part of the Airman's Creed, you know, as I think through it, just like I do at most graduations, I like to be reflective. The Airman's Creed talks about how, I'm an American Airman. I'm a warrior. I've answered my nation's call. That's what got you here. You're less than 1% of 1% that were able to make it through training, make it to this day. It goes on a little bit later. It says, I'm faithful to a proud heritage. If you walk outside these doors and in the hallway, almost every graduation, I stop and I look, and there's a plaque right out here, just on the other side of this wall. The father of our Air Force, Billy Mitchell, he was a signals officer, communicator, cyber officer before they had cyber. You are faithful to a proud heritage. It's incredible. You're joining an amazing fraternity and sorority this day. A little bit later, it says, I defend my country with my life. That's what I was just talking about. You're going to get some reps in almost right away. Those competitors want to undermine our democracy. They want to take away what we have. We're not giving it up easy. And finally, it wraps up when it says that I will never leave an airman behind. I will not falter. I will not fail. And we know that you will not. And we have done what we can to prepare you for that day, to make you earn it. We want to be as proud of you as you are of your own achievement. And so, with that note, we're proud of you. I look forward to serving next to you. I know the chief does too. I see him sneak. He snuck in here. He's sneakier than a Colonel Mo Root kid back there. That's a nerd joke. Sorry, slash dad joke. But very, very grateful for your achievement. Thank you. Thank you for putting in the work. And also, thank you for what you do for our nation. I look forward to serving right next to you. I know the chief does too. We all do. So do your instructors. So good luck. Godspeed. I'll get off the stage like the little guy was trying to get me to.
Thank you, Coach Sparks. Now I would like to provide an explanation to the meaning of the cyberspace operator badge. The lightning bolt wings signify the cyberspace domain, while the globe signifies the projection of cyber power worldwide. Together, the globe and lightning bolt wings represent our common communications heritage. The bolted wings centered on the globe are taken from the Air Force SEAL and signify our striking power through air, space, and cyberspace. Finally, the orbits circling the globe signify the space-related elements of the cyberspace domain. Undergraduate Cyber Training Class 21002. Prepare for the presentation of your cyber badges and certificates of graduation. As each student's name is called, will student and person presenting his or her badge please come forward. After the presentation of the certificate, friends and family are invited to join their graduate on stage for a photo opportunity. Captain Alex Medina. Presenting his badge is his mother, Maribel Gonzalez, and his wife, Maria. Captain Medina has been assigned to the 690th Cyber Operations Squadron, Joint Base Pearl Harbor, Hickam, Hawaii. First Lieutenant Daniel Tunitas. I will be presenting his badge.
It's not a good look.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
You guys like both academy guys?
No, it's
weird. Isn't this like a weird handshake?
First Lieutenant Tunitas has been assigned to the 39th Integration Operations Squadron, Joint Base San Antonio, Lackland, Texas. Second Lieutenant John Hardy. I'll be presenting his badge. Lieutenant Hardy has been assigned to the 49th Communications Squadron, Holloman Air Force Base, New Mexico. Second Lieutenant Mike Hildebrand. Presenting his badge is his mentor, Captain Kevin Guerin. Lieutenant Hildebrand has been assigned to the 606 Air Control Squadron, Aviano Air Base, Italy. Second Lieutenant Neil Kotek. Presenting his badge to his classmate, Captain Alex Medina. Lieutenant Kotek has been assigned to the A-36 Cyberspace Operations Squadron, Joint Base San Antonio, Lackland, Texas. Second Lieutenant Kieran Pelicano. I'll be presenting his badge.
They can leave the baby in here. Usually it's Goring crying at these things.
Lieutenant Pelicano has been assigned to the 52nd Communications Squadron, Spangdahlem Air Base, Germany. Second Lieutenant Nathan Pena. Presenting his badge to his girlfriend, Betty Chin. Lieutenant Pena has been assigned to the 608 Air Communications Squadron, Barksdale Air Force Base, Louisiana.
All right.
Second Lieutenant Erica Reinertson. Presenting her badge to her mentor, Tech Sergeant Dane Alexander. Lieutenant Reinertson has been assigned to the 52nd Combat Communications Squadron, Robbins Air Force Base, Georgia.
What kind of picture is that?
Yeah, we'll get that one later.
Curriculum updates.
Second Lieutenant Robert Richards, presenting his badge is his spouse and son, Emily and Nick Richards.
Stab him.
It'll still probably be better than Eve's.
Lieutenant Richards,
I'm in a mess.
Lieutenant Richards has been assigned to the 509th Communications Squadron, Whiteman Air Force Base, Missouri. Second Lieutenant Caleb Schultz, presenting his badge is his spouse, Jacqueline Schultz. Lieutenant Schultz has been assigned to the 422nd Communications Squadron, RAF Proughton, United Kingdom. Second Lieutenant William Stevenson, I will be presenting his badge. Lieutenant Stevenson has been assigned to the 27th Special Operations Communications Squadron, Canton Air Force Base, New Mexico. Second Lieutenant China Taylor, presenting her badge to her significant other, Lieutenant Seth Kennel. Lieutenant Taylor has been assigned to the 505th Communications Squadron, Culverville, Florida. Second Lieutenant Logan Ward, presenting his badge is his spouse, Skylar Ward. Lieutenant Ward has been assigned to the 35th Communications Squadron, Misawa Air Base, Japan. Second Lieutenant Sarah Sue.
At least we're facing the right direction.
Lieutenant Sue has been assigned to the 99th Communications Squadron, Nellis Air Force Base, Nevada. Congratulations, class 21002. Right. And now for the presentation of the awards. The first award recognizes the outstanding contributor, decided by an anonymous vote of all class members, and is sponsored by the Armed Forces Communications and Electronics Association. The outstanding contributor for UCT class 21002 is Second Lieutenant Robert Richards.
All right, Rob.
Next, we have the Distinguished Graduate Award. Based on multiple criteria, this award recognizes only the top 10% of students in a graduating class. Requirements for the Distinguished Graduate Award include having a minimum academic grade point average of 95% and demonstrating the attributes of the whole airman concept, including high standards of attitude, bearing, behavior, conduct, teamwork, and leadership, as well as no written or performance measurement failures. The distinguished graduates for UCT class 21002 are Second Lieutenant Robert Richards.
Trying to get your step count in.
And Captain Alex Medina. All right, next we have the Major General Robert E. Sadler Award. This award is presented on behalf of the Air Force Command, Control, Communications, and Computers Association and recognizes the UCT graduate with the highest cumulative grade point average. A tradition began when the UCT's first graduating class on December 7, 2010. In addition to the Sadler Award, Brigadier General Ian Dickinson, the former 81st Training Wing Commander, presented his first basic cyberspace operator badge to the honoree. In turn, the student receiving the general's badge offered his first badge back to the schoolhouse to pass down to the next Sadler Award winner. Today, the graduate receiving the Sadler Award will relinquish his or her newly pinned badge to the schoolhouse to continue this tradition. The Sadler Award recipient will receive a congratulatory certificate signed by the President of the Air Force Command, Control, Communications, and Computers Association, Lieutenant General Retired Charlie Kroom. The Sadler Award recipient for UCT graduating class 21002 is First Lieutenant Daniel Tenitis.
Let me hold that for you for 1 second. We have a formality here. Get the wings from the last one. He's put it on there pretty good.
Now, at this time, we would like to take a moment and recognize the instructors that Class 21002 has voted to be the most influential during their time at undergraduate cyber warfare training. As President Ronald Reagan has said, the greatest leader is not necessarily the one who does the greatest things. He or she is the one that gets the people to do the greatest things. The recipient of this honor, chosen by Class 21002, is Captain Ed Conrad.
Yeah.
Please see. Thanks for coming out, Ed. I appreciate it. Part of this is an initiative to recognize the folks that got you all the way to graduation. And every one of our instructors pours it, into each of the graduates. But we like to recognize the one that's picked from the class. So I appreciate you guys putting that in. Well done, Ed. And please report to my office for some additional celebrations. Winning is thirsty business.
All right, Captain Data, please come forward for a gift presentation.
So this is for imparting your wisdom on class 21002.
Oh, no way. Oh, I love
It was a custom design from the class.
Part two of your present's gonna be at the after party.
All right, congratulations to the award winners. Let's get more warm round of applause to Class 21002. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's graduation ceremony. Class 21002 would like to extend their thanks to those in virtual attendance today as well. Graduates will conclude today's ceremony by leading us in singing the Air Force song. Afterwards, they will form a team line. Attendees are encouraged to come forward and congratulate our newest cyber operators. Please stand for the playing of the Air Force song. Thank you for attending today's ceremony.